don't know about you guys, but out here in Segway, Oakland
Irwin.
sells,
Quick grip.
they have a junkyard, Segway junkyard. So probably all that stuff we could sell to him, or, you know, if he liked these tires, maybe we would trade with the guy.
This is a woodworking device,
Okay.
which they sell them as shorties too, that are about that long, so you don't have to deal with the rest of this. This is just what we have in the shop.
Okay.
And then basically the idea here is you just want this enough to pull back the wheel a little bit.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of prop it up against the back side of the rim.
Oh, and being careful
Yeah.
then not to over tighten so you don't crunch that.
Okay,
Is
so
that
not
right?
on, so we don't want to get on the plastic.
I'm on the plastic on the back, but on the front I'm a little bit off.
Okay.
And all you're trying to do is just give yourself enough room to get one of those spoons in there.
Okay, I see. So there's like that little.
Yeah, actually I'm off the rim on the back there.
Okay, so just so there's a little lip.
Yeah. And then 3 seems to be the magic number with these,
Okay.
because that way you can get 2 in there and then you use 1 to kind of work your way around. And this is the same deal if you're just replacing the tube as if you're replacing the whole tire.
Okay.
Obviously replacing the tire is going to take you longer and it's a bigger hassle, but
Do you need soap, hand soap?
not for this part.
Okay.
You can, but we usually just kind of pop them
Pop
and
it in
go.
and move it around.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more when you're putting the tire back on, and that's if you're replacing the tube or not. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pop this side of it off, and then, so basically the bottom part of it will be kind of like moving up and down on the rim. You can get in there, you can pull the tube out, put a new tube in, and then you kind of grease this up, and then push it back down and around, and then you're good to go.
Right.
Yeah, pulling the tire off is something unto itself, so we'll do that. But,
Okay.
yeah. So sometimes you got to go at this a couple of times. And this is where it's funny that I'm seen as an expert, because I'm really not that great at this stuff. And we still got plenty of air in that tire too.
Do you do this, Jack? Or is there someone in your shop who kind of specializes?
John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just called Mike, who, you know, one guy who was like, oh yeah, Pam, it's just like changing a tractor tire, nothing to it. I'm like, okay.
Come on in and show us, buddy.
Yeah, I left him a message.
Are you guys going to cover those new tires?
Yeah. There we go.
Did you see them?
You can kind of see if you look in here. That's where the tube is.
Okay.
And that's what Jack was talking about when you start digging in there. You
Okay,
can
you don't want
catch
to pop that.
And pop it.
I've done that a couple of times, especially with the older ones when I'm trying to reuse them and I'm just replacing, you know, the rubber. Where if they've been in there for a while, they'll go pretty good. Which is twice as frustrating because you finally get everything in there and you pump it back up and then you can just hear it hiss and it falls apart and you get to start over from scratch. So these have the curved edges that you're going to get in there and just start popping them over, and then you kind of work your way out, and that's where you use the 3. And this is where you're going to be doing, if you're going to be going after the plastic, this is usually where it happens.
Yeah, I can see that.
From getting around that side of it.
That's just what I was going to do too. Nice. Now you got to kind of string it along, right?
Exactly, so you just kind of like slide around a little bit, and this is where 3 will sometimes help, especially once you get this up and over.
Yeah.
And then it's basically wherever you can kind of get at it. There we go. So now that part's up and over. I'm just going to kind of hold on to these, back it off again. Yeah.
Okay.
And you kind of
Yeah, I
have,
can totally see how this is where you risk this,
Yeah.
popping this plastic piece.
well, especially if it's under more pressure than that, where you're really torquing on
Okay,
it.
so really important to let all that air out.
Yeah, as much as you can.
You'll have some scratches on the rim, basically.
Yeah.
Possible for it to come out
sure.
just like it went in.
Sure, as long as we don't crack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where I get into trouble out here.
And this is what I was talking about, where you kind of want to finesse it a little bit, because if you try to go too far along, it's going to be too tight and you're not going to get in.